Another common question has to do with what age is right for sex, or some variation of that question. And this really puts parents on the spot because they feel like whatever age that they say, their child is going to believe that that's the age they can be to have sex. Okay? And that's just not true. So there's a lot of factors, obviously, and you can discuss those with your child. So if they say, when is sex right, or what's the right age to have sex, or when do people have sex, something along those lines. If you like to share with them some statistics, in the United States, the average age for first intercourse happens to be age 17 now. Used to be 16. It's actually gotten later, which is great. But it's an average. And what we know about averages is that there's some people who have sex sooner and there's people who have sex later, right? And what you can share is that this is something that really is for adults, and you really want to be probably out of high school when someone makes this decision, because there's a lot of factors to it. You have to think about reputation, right? Unfortunately, socially, both boys and girls, sex is different socially for them, and the acceptance of it. Unfortunately, for boys, it's sort of expected for them to have sex, and that puts a lot of pressure on them. Maybe they won't be ready for sex, and they might feel like they're in a hurry to have sex just to get it over with, which it won't even be very good, right? Let's face it, okay? And the other thing is with girls, sometimes they're kind of damned if they do or damned if they don't, because there's words that girls are called for girls who have sex that aren't very nice, right? And there's also words for girls who don't have sex that aren't really nice either, and it really puts them in a weird spot. So if you want to go there in your conversation about socially, what are some of the repercussions to making a decision like that, and then obviously the physical consequences that can happen with sex, like an unwanted pregnancy or disease, also attaching to your partner. It's something else that some families like to talk to their kids about, especially their girls, their young girls. There's a bonding hormone that actually is released from the brain that makes women attached to their partners. And, sometimes motivations for sex can be different between the sexes, and understanding that. Okay, so you can have conversations around that as well. Lots of things you can do here. When is sex right? This is what I would tell my child. When you can make that decision and feel good about it, and you know that it was with the right person, it was the right time, and it was for good reasons, it'll probably be right for you. And I also think it's important that that person also protects himself from an unplanned or unwanted pregnancy and disease. Then it probably will be right for them, at whatever age that is. People tend to be older, and when you're older, you probably will make better decisions about who your partner is, and probably will enjoy it more, because sex is something that, when it's not with the right person, and it's not the right time, and it's not for good reasons, can cause a lot of shame. It can cause a ton of embarrassment, and frankly, it may not even be good. If you're feeling those things, sex is not a good experience. And for something so wonderful, I'd hate for you to have an experience that wasn't good. And that's kind of how I feel about it, right? That's what I would say. That's just me. I hope that those tips help a little bit, and you have some sort of context of what you could say if your child wants to know anything about when is sex right.